Hi everybody, welcome back to the Shrimp Lab. Hugo Lopez here, and we made it. Our tank's ready for some shrimp. We've done all the hard work, and we prepared. We tested out the tank. I got the test shrimp right now coming out. They're going into another tank. They're drip acclimating. We're gonna go over drip acclimating. We're gonna go over how to get them or what to do with them when you receive these shrimp that you bought. We're also gonna update everybody on what shrimp I'm putting in the tank. We had a lot of good comments. We had a lot of good suggestions. After thinking long and hard about it and everybody's suggestions, and then an opportunity that came about, I ended up realizing that I have a really nice tank of black fancy tigers that I just put together. So I'll be updating everybody on that because that'll be our black fancy tiger breeding because we had a few votes for that. I also have a red fancy tiger tank that I've actually had to make a grow out tank for because I had so many babies. So I'm going to be updating everybody on that one too in the future. And I ended up choosing a shrimp that's a little rare now. It's a classic shrimp. It was originally, I think, bred in Germany. I ended up getting the opportunity to pick these up off of Eric Lucas from Vin himself. So great opportunity getting to be able to officially buy shrimp from one of my favorite breeders in the world directly from him that he chose was pretty great opportunity. I know this shrimp isn't worth the most. They're not a super expensive shrimp. They're actually a pretty cheap shrimp. But something else that you have to think about too is if you're a breeder and you're going to be breeding your own shrimp and you're trying to breed the best ones of that breed, you know, the highest quality you can, and maybe enter them in some contest or something like that. If you win a contest, now instantly your cheap shrimp that you bought and bred yourself up is now worth a lot of money, and people are going to be coming after you to find the best of that breed to be able to name your own price. For instance, so I personally think that it's going to be coming back. A lot of the classic breeds you notice start to come back. Right now I see beautiful PRLs going for hundreds of dollars that are award-winning shrimp that deserve it, you know, but you can still go buy a PRL for 5, 10, even less at the store. It's not going to be the same quality, but just saying, you know what I mean? And that's a big variation in breeding and in what we're trying to accomplish when we're breeding. We're trying to make that highest quality shrimp with thick shells, nice legs, great pattern and color, and a big size. You don't want an inbred little shrimp. So today we'll be getting those shrimp in the tank. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for all your support, all your amazing comments. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate it. So let's get to it, and thank you guys so much. Cheers. All right, everybody, the shrimp have arrived. Got them packaged here. This is how shrimp are normally packaged. They should be in a breather bag or an air bag, and then they'll be insulated inside the package. Most DOA policies or dead on arrival policies are within the first hour of it being delivered. So when you order shrimp, make sure that you talk to whoever you're buying them from, or you planned it out accordingly so you're around or someone's around to receive the package. I've ordered shrimp through Eric Lucas before, and he always stokes you up with some dank candy. Eric, thank you for the high chews. Let's go. All right. Now this is the insulation that's normally used when shipping shrimp. I don't know if you guys can see, but here's the box filled with insulation. This insulation keeps them a consistent temperature while they're traveling. Now, when we go inside here, let's take a nice note with the invoice on it from what we got in the bag, and let's pull these shrimp out. Okay, there's gonna be 2 containers of shrimp in here, one from Eric and one from Vin. Sometimes they'll be packaged in paper, sometimes they'll be wrapped in newspaper, sometimes they'll just be straight in there. When you get your shrimp, look through the bag. Wow, they look beautiful. These must be the females. Wow, they look great. Okay, we got 4 in that bag. Wow, I'm really happy with those. Usually when you get shrimp in the mail, they're a little bit stressed and they'll be a little lighter coloration. And then a few hours later, once they're in the tanks and everything, they'll be usually colored back up. Okay, second package. I believe these are gonna be the ones from Eric. Oh, and those are beautiful as well. Yeah, healthy, all alive. Awesome. I'm super grateful. And yeah, so these would be considered breather bags, so you do not float these bags. These bags almost work like a turkey bag for cooking, where they let air in and out, but they keep water inside. And if there's water on both sides, air can't pass through, and you can actually suffocate your animals by trying to float these bags. So these are not like the air bags, just remember that. So the next step I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to be taking them out of this. We're going to be putting them into a container. Remember, if you have shrimp in separate bags, they came usually from separate tanks, and they're going to be at different parameters. Even if they're going into the same tank, keep them separate, drip them separately till they're both used to that water, and then introduce them. You never want to just throw them both into the same container or multiples. There's been times where I had like an octopus of drip lines coming out of a tank, dripping like 5 different containers of shrimp into the same tank, just because I got 5 different shrimp from 5 different tanks at the same time and had to do it. All right, well, thank you guys so much, and let's go to this next. All right, looks like we got a little buried female in here. Now, we're gonna be needing to get them in from this bag into there. Sometimes these little rivets right here, or these little ridges right here, they'll get stuck in and stuff like that. So you wanna be extra careful. You wanna do it over this. You wanna hold somewhere really close. Just like cut a little bit of one side, right up top here. Open it up, get a little bit of the water out. These scissors suck, so just be careful not to, oh, there you go, not to drop any shrimp. All right, let's see the best way to do this. You want to kind of get all the shrimp out in one big pour. Make sure there's none stuck in the plastic, which there was one stuck in the plastic. Okay, they're all in there. All right, oh my God, babies. Oh shoot, there was babies hatched in here. Holy shit. Okay, in that case, we're gonna pour a little bit of more water back into the bag. Look for babies. They got stuck on the plastic. Wow, someone had babies in the bag. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, there's a bunch of little babies in there. Wow, these shrimp are super healthy. Thank you, Eric. They look beautiful. Again, double check all the bags closely in the light. Make sure that there's no babies in. How awesome. Okay. Now you don't have to use just these containers. You can use other containers. Food containers, the taller ones are a little bit better. I actually have a bigger one in here. Beautiful, I'm so happy. Okay, everybody looks really good. If you see those little white things in there, those are actually purigen. Those aren't eggs or something like that. When I've sent shrimp to people before, they'll see purigen in the bottom and they'll say, hey, I think the shrimp released its eggs. And it's just purigen. All right, so now what we're gonna be doing, whenever we get new shrimp, 2 main things you're gonna need is your TDS pen and some sort of drip acclimation system. This is a real short one. This is a nice long one. All this is air hose. You take a valve from like an air valve so you can tighten and loosen it and control how many drips. But if you don't have that, honestly, you can just tie a knot in the air hose and pull it as tight as tight or as loose as you need to get the right amount of drips out. Then I'll put like an air stone sometimes on the back just to kind of keep it weighted in the tank, but you can also put it between the lid and just kind of have it held there. You just gotta make sure this stays in the water when you're dripping it from the tank to the thing. It's gonna be a standard siphon drip. You're gonna just suck on it a little bit and have that water come through. Then we're gonna slowly drip 1 to 2, maybe 3 drips per second into these until they match up. Now, I also take my TDS pen and we'll test their water parameters. So they're at 117, okay? Then I'll check the water in the tank they're going into, which is literally the same. Oh, sorry, no, it's coming up as 115. So really close water parameters. I'm gonna slowly drip it and wait for the parameters to match perfectly Then I know when I'm putting the shrimp in, it's not going to shock the shrimp any, especially since they've already been through travel and all this. Some of them came all the way from Taiwan. Some of them were bred here in Sacramento. So we're going to get these things ready to go in, and then I'll show you guys me putting them in and talk to you a little bit more about the next steps afterwards. All right, so as you can see, I have the one end, one with and one without inside the tank, and then made a little siphon. And this is a pretty quick drip because they were super close. I can actually slow that down a little bit. I have both of them dripping. Sometimes I use something like this just to hold it so it drips. And actually, let's look at these little shrimp. So this one, there's actually some babies in here. You can see one right there, one right there. One of the mamas is still buried. Super grateful. These are the ones that Eric helped me out with and sent. And it's gonna be hard to see in here. I believe these are the ones directly from bed. All right, we're gonna let these drip. I'm gonna slow this drip down a little bit so it's closer to that speed. But since, like I said, since these ones were so close, it's not really gonna be too shocking for them. I'll be back to release them into the tank. All right, everybody, now the moment we've been waiting for. So match the TDS, total dissolved solids. So now those are perfect. I know that these things are low pH, so I didn't even worry about that. When we get to the end, I usually just loosen these up. Oop, been sloppy today. Drop the water back into the tank. Most of the time when you get shrimp, you don't want to mix the water that you got from somebody else just because you don't know the status of their tank. Their tank could have bad algae in it, planaria, all kinds of funk that you don't necessarily want to get in your tank. I'm thinking about this for a minute here now. And oh, also I'd like to say, when you're drip acclimating, it can take up to hours. I've had water parameters so different than mine that it's taken 5-6 hours, and don't rush it. You can really harm your shrimp if your shrimp had just molted or if they're not ready to molt and you rush the drip acclimation process. You can stress them out so hard that they'll die, and they're already stressed out from traveling and doing everything else. So normally I will just catch the shrimp and pull them out. By the way, when people put netting inside there, that's for the shrimp to hold on to, so when the water's moving around, they have something to grab onto, not each other. And it's better to use plastic than mosses, actually, because mosses will suck air out of the bag. It's not as bad with a breather bag, but in a regular bag, you shouldn't put any moss in there. So what I'm gonna do with one of these batches is I'm gonna catch them with the net and release them a couple at a time. The other one with the babies in it, I'm actually going to, I think, try and put the whole thing in there because I don't want to miss a baby in the tank. Since I'm getting them from Eric, he's been a solid breeder. I wouldn't recommend using someone else's water, but this tank is new. I'm gonna put some of his water in there, I believe, just so I don't lose any of the babies. But we're gonna catch some of these. I like to use a harder net that keeps its shape so you don't squish any of your shrimp. Little soft nets like this sometimes will get crushed and could hurt your shrimp's legs or things like that. So be very gentle, take your time, try and collect a couple up. Even if you only do one at a time, it's okay. Wow, she is beautiful. Cover the top sometimes because they'll jump around. And when you're putting them in, let the shrimp come out itself. I'm gonna open this net up. We don't want it to get crushed. See, she's running right out. She's acting totally normal. She's not jumping around, which is a really good sign. She's moving, but she's not freaking out. I'm gonna try and grab a couple more. Ooh, they're active, they're good. Okay, that's a sign of healthy shrimp. Got another one here. Ooh, jumped out. it's hard in this container because it has rounded sides. The other one's a little more manageable because it has normal sides. All right, so we got 2 in there already. The other one's walking around, she's looking good. Dark and healthy, wow. So yeah, I'm gonna keep releasing them, and then I'll do a zoomed in shot of when I drop the big container in. All right, everybody, so we are getting to the point where we're going to put them back into the tank. Like I said, I'm gonna be adding them in with their water just because there's babies. There are babies hatched in there. You'll be seeing them shortly up here. Now, I normally wouldn't mix other people's water like I was saying, but I'm totally comfortable with this. And those little white spots are the Purigen I'm talking about. And they are the ones that are helping keep all the ammonia down and everything during shipping. And they're totally okay to go into your tank. As you'll see, they kind of rain into my tank or snow into my tank at this point. They ended up kind of just disappearing into the soil after the first day or two. But yeah, don't be afraid if a few drop in, and gently get those shrimp in. And now look at all those little babies right there. So lucky. The babies have been doing well in there, and they're going to be a lot more sensitive. A lot of times when babies do hatch out on the way there, they sometimes don't really make it, but fingers crossed. It's been a couple weeks and we've had success. The babies are growing still as of right now, but yeah, get them all in there gently. You can see them all going in, and now our shrimp are finally in the tank. We did it, guys. We made it. So yeah, snow and Purigen everywhere, but that's okay. The shrimp are acting totally normal. If they were jumping around or going to the top of the water or something like that, then I would be worried, but they're acting completely perfect. They're moving, they're eating. If you see them eating, you know it's a good sign. So yeah, now we'll be getting the fun part of enjoying these shrimp and watching them just kind of get comfortable to their new house, their new surroundings, and yeah, just seeing how they act. Keep an eye on them for sure for the first day or two. All right, everybody, we made it. We got our shrimp in our tank, and after all of our patience and hard work, we finally get to reap some of the benefits. So keep an eye on them for the first day. I usually don't feed them till the next day. And I have a lot of exciting things coming for you. If you don't see behind me, we updated our new rack, and it used to be the 3 little tanks there. We're about to do a whole rack setup. I'm gonna teach you guys how to do closed air loop systems, set up all your tanks, do it for a really affordable price, do it for, you know, the best, optimize it. Let's just say we'll optimize the rack in every way we can. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys subscribing, leaving comments, and just all of your support. It's been really amazing. In the next videos, we will have go over maintaining your colony now that you have it inside your tank, feeding, and then also some tips for promoting breeding and stuff like that. Then we'll also in the future go into selling shrimp, some tips for that, and also packaging and shipping shrimp. But I hope you guys learned about acclimating and some of the things that you'll do when you're first getting your shrimp in your tank. If you have any questions, please leave comments below, and thanks again. I'll see you guys all soon. Thank you.